structure, it downloaded dependencies, it compiled the source code, it packaged the application, and we have not seen the steps. We'll try to see it if possible. And packaging the application, and till that point we have observed advantages of build tool, features of the Maven. It's a build tool, it will do build and it will clear the dependencies and it will generate the documentation as well. So we have discussed about setups. Please complete the setups. Maven is the most important thing in your Mule. That's the reason even I was covering basics of Maven, though it's not part of your general Mule curriculum. So please pay attention to practice the Maven. Though you practice or not, it's my responsibility to complete your syllabus. So the directory structure, when you create a Maven project, you will get the folder structure something like this. It depends on the archetype you will use. So if you use web app related archetype, it will generate the web app folders. If you use, yesterday we have used two simple archetypes. What are those? Anyone remember that? The archetypes we have used is Java archetype and then a simple SRC main mule, a mule archetype. We have created mule project from the Maven and as well as a simple Java project from the Maven with the help of the archetypes. And how Maven will work? So with this archetype, we have generated it. 1733 is the number which generates the Java package. And the other one that we have used, what is the other one we have used? The other one we have used from the Notepad plus plus. Where is it? I think here. So the other one that we have used to generate the archetype is related to the mule. That is 168 or mule 4. Mule 4 API project 602. Oh my God, there are many other things. Remote mule example archetype, creating a mule example application 24100, and a domain project Maven archetype. There are something like this. There are many other things. 2843. So many people created their own archetypes and they publish it to the Maven. So you can reuse it. You can also create your own archetype and publish it to the Maven. Though anyway, we will not use that. So we have known how to create a project, and then after creating the project, we have asked Maven to compile, test, and package. And then once it is compiled, we have run the Java externally. And then once we package, we executed the Java class through the Java command. So this is what the Maven is doing. What is Maven doing? Test, package, compile. What are all those things? These are all those things are called instructions to the Maven. Each and every instruction is a goal, and this goal will come from part of an plugin. So compile and test compile goals are part of compiler plugin. Install is part of jar or install plugin, like that. So plugin is a jar file which comes with many goals. And then Maven build life cycle. So what is the build life cycle of the Maven? What Maven will do? So Maven has a life cycle that is a default life cycle which starts from this: generate sources, compile, test, package, integration test, install, and deploy. These are all interdependent one. When you start the latest one, it will start from the scratch. When you start compile, it will do generate sources and compile. When you start test, it will do generate sources, compile, and test. When you package, it will do the other things. Let's go to this example and see this. I'm opening the command prompt here in this location. So now what I want to demonstrate is MVN, and I am asking for compile. So observe the goals that is getting executed. The green colored ones are your goals. Excuse me. So see here, resources. It is generating the resources and it is also compiling. And when you ask this for the test, then see this, it will start from all those things again. Sources, compile, test compile, and then test. It is running the munit, JUnit test that we have automatically generated from the Java archetype. And then when I say package, not sure what that extra hash meant. When I see package, it will again do all the things and completely at the end, see here, tests and everything, and finally it is making it a jar. When I say install, what it will do, it will install the jar into Maven's local repository that I have shown you yesterday in the .m2 folder. So when I ask for the install, it will resources, compile, test resources, test compile, test, and then what it is doing, and then it is doing the jar, and then it is finally installing. So it is installed the jar generated in this location to where it is installing into this location, right? This is called no Maven build lifecycle. So when you run one command, automatically other will run. And then Maven example, Maven goals. So to invoke a Maven build, you set a lifecycle goals. Maven install invokes generates to the compile, test, package, test, and install. Maven clean, it's invoke a clean. Maven clean compile. What is the clean here? Clean will delete all the folders. So Maven once compiles it, once it will generate work on the target folder. So Maven has a clean command. It will cleans your working directory. MVN clean is a separate goal. Why extra character is typing? MVN clean, it will remove the target folder. It will remove all the compile files and all. So every time whenever you are doing anything, you will by default append. You will by default append. Mm, MVN clean compile. So it will clean the existing build, existing dot classes and all, and then it will compile. So if you see you are getting a target folder, same thing, already you have compiled code ready. Now you did some changes. And again, if you want to do package, Maven clean package. So it will first clear the existing previous compiled things, and freshly it will create the things, and then it will run the test, and finally it will create a jar file. That is about the um, Maven lifecycle. Why it went to this much level? So that is about the Maven build life cycle. So these are the goals of the Maven, and then how Maven will work. So
కిషోర్ గారు,
yes,
ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ సైట్ ఇవి రన్ చేసినప్పుడు కమాండ్ లో ప్రీవియస్ ఉన్న ఫోల్డర్స్ ని ఓవర్ రైట్ అవుతాయా న్యూ రికార్డ్ ఫోల్డర్స్?
డిలీట్ అవుతున్నాయి. అది కదా చూపించాను ఇక్కడ. టార్గెట్ డిలీట్ అయిపోయి మళ్ళీ క్రియేట్ అయింది. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ యువర్ క్లీన్. When you say, when you are recompiling again, see that target will get removed from here in the backend. That's the intention of keeping it in the backend. See this target, this will get deleted and recreated. See this target, it will go and create again. See here, target went and recreated. Okay, you identified it this time?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then how Maven works. In every project, there is something called pom.xml. your Maven will read this pom.xml. Till now, we haven't discussed about pom.xml. We'll get to know that in few minutes. And this Maven, whenever you type any command to Maven, say Maven clean, Maven compile, what it will do, it will go to this pom.xml. It will read the things and then it will start the building the things. And then if it needs, when it needs compile, when it needs what are the other life cycles, when it needs compile, when it needs test compile, test package, what we need when we want to run a life cycle goal, what we need corresponding plugin. What is a plugin? A jar file. From where it should get that jar file? It will go and try to get the jar file in the local repository. If it is there, it will use it. If it is not there, it will go and ask the remote central repository of the Maven in the internet. It needs an internet connection. It will go and ask the Maven to provide the respective jar. Maven will accept central repository, accept the request and give you the jar. And once it gives you the jar, it will keep that jar in local repository, and then it will compile or package or whatever it will do, that the output will be written in your target directory. This is what your Maven lifecycle is. It will read the pom.xml. Here you will mention what it needs to be done, and then it will start building. Whenever it needs a plugin to execute the goal, it will check in the local repository. If it is not there, it will try to get from the central repository, and then from the central repository, it will download the into local repository and it will complete it. Next time when you want to execute again, it won't go and get from the central repository. This time already it was available in your local repository, and then it will compile it, or it will perform the goal that you have asked. So POM, we have discussed pom.xml in your project. What is this pom.xml? We'll try to see. POM stands for Project Object Model. It's a functional, fundamental or foundation. What was that? It's a spelling mistake. So it's a fundamental unit of work in the Maven. POM is an XML file that contains information about your project, your configuration details of the project to build. So it describes the project name and version. Let's go and see one pom.xml here in this Java file. So it says that, so first try to identify the same thing. What is the name of your project? And it's a Java related thing. What is the compiler version it is using? And what was the dependency it was using? So we have JUnit has automatically generated in this file. In this automatically a Java class has written, and then by default src main instead of Java. Let me keep put test here, so it will go to the test src main test. No, src not main test, src test. SRC test Java. Here it has written in a JUnit test. To run this JUnit, it needs some dependency. The dependency is mentioned here, and there is something related to build that we'll discuss at the end. So what Maven pom.xml says, it describes the project, a name and version. So where is the name of the project? This is the name of the project. Right, there are other things that we are going to see in a while. And artifact type, what is kind of artifact it is? Source code locations, dependencies, plugins, profiles, and these are the other things that are describes about your project. If your project is using different source code locations, what are those? What are the dependencies? Jar files your project is needed. My project is needed here, time being a JUnit. If you go to any of my mule project, this is your batch and workspace. Let me go to my database connector and let me open my pom.xml. Till now we haven't seen this. Now see this, name of your project, right? And then what kind of packaging you are doing this? You are doing this a jar file, right? And what else? Build, ignore this, dependencies. You are using HTTP module, you are using sockets module, you are using a DB connector, and then you need you have actionally added an OJDBC6.jar. So these are all called dependencies. Your Maven will get download all these things into the local repository to work. Hope you are following. You are following. It is Maven pom.xml. By default, it will be in XML format. POM, it contains the metadata, location of directories, developers, contributors, dependencies, repositories, and it will have transitive dependency as well. It means when your application is using OJDBC6 and this OJDBC6 is still using some other two jars, automatically that will get downloaded. So it will have transitive dependencies, the key elements inside your pom.xml. So the pom.xml, the first element is called project. It represents about your complete project. And inside that, you will have model version. So what is the version of your project version or some version related to this artifact? Generally, it will be a major, minor, and incremental version. And then the qualifier, that was the standard. By default, it was representing 400. And then you will have a group ID, you will have a packaging. Group ID is something like, your package name in the Java, to which group this belongs to. Inside my company, if it is part of training, it will be .training. If it is part of some other functionality, you will provide that group ID. And generally, we will write your client name or your project name, and name is something like that is used for our user internal, and artifact ID is something like a specific ID given by the identified by the Maven for the each every project. And then that is about artifact ID. And then version. Here I'm not using any version. Yeah, here I am using the version of the project. So group ID, artifact ID, GAV, these three are the important. What group your project belongs to? How should a Maven identify it? What kind of version it is? Is it first version, second version, third version? So your release version it represents. And a snapshot represents, a snapshot is still in the development mode. That is why you will get snapshot every time. And then name, and then URL, and then description. So GAV, we can identify every project with the help of a GAV. So group ID, com.mycompany, artifact ID is this, and version is this. So when you give a group GAV, so whenever you are representing anything, you will represent that as a GAV. Suppose even these connectors are also your dependencies also contains GAV. So say your HTTP connector, it is part of group ID or mule connectors. It can be identified with the name mule HTTP connector, and its version is 1522. So this is called GAV. Every project will have every Maven project will have a GAV. So with the help of GAV, you can easily identify the respective artifact. Right? How do you identify? So let's go and see the example. So hope you guys are following. Just let me know when you are not following. So we have created our Maven project, right? First Maven project. Oh, what was that? Yeah, this one, right? So in this one, what is my GAV? My GAV is group ID com.mytraining. So when it get downloaded, when it gets saved in your repository, just go to .m2.repository is the place where your Maven stores it downloadable download. So com, under that there is something called where is it, my company. Look for it, my company, and inside that there are many examples created with this name, and that inside that you will have what was this, app, artifact app. Why there is no app here? I just installed it right few minutes back. Where this get installed, let me copy paste the path if I had anything copy. Yes, com dot my training dot, it's not my company, it's a my training. Com dot is it my company or my training? What was this? Palm.xml. Yeah, it's my training, mytrng. So not in my company. Go to my training and see this is app. So this is your group ID. Your group ID will be identified com dot in the repository where your project stores, com my training app, and then the next one version with this name, another folder will be created. If you have 2-3 versions, suppose if I had made this 2.0 snapshot, or if I made it this as a 2.0 and then saved this, and then clean, sorry, Maven clean, I'm installing this, and now concentrate on the both the screens, back end screen and front end screen. Now see this, it's creating a different version, and see this got installed into a different location. So this is a group ID, this is the version, and this is particular your artifact ID. This is how your GAV will be helpful. It's a kind of fully qualified name for your asset, that is GAV. So how you want to package your application, that is nothing but your next element says where is this packaging, or let me use our Maven Mule example. So packaging, so it talks about how you want to package your application. I want to package my application as an Mule application. So that talks about your this thing. Example packaging types are PAM, jar, var, EAR, and custom packagings. Our Mule application is a custom packaging for specific to Mule. Generally your default packaging is a jar. So how your application app is packaging, your app was packaging as a jar file. So your default packaging is jar. So if you go here and then mention that as a packaging, you can mention as a jar file. It doesn't give any Maven clean install, and then I'm and then it is packaging. What is the default packaging here? Default packaging is your, see here, default jar is the packaging type. Let's go and do as WAR and then see will it work or not. I'm not sure, but I'm giving a try. WAR is web archive file. It looks for some of the folders. See here, it is downloading the required jar files. So for the var packaging, see here, this is what it is downloading from where? Central repository. That is what I have explained over here. This is what the step it was doing it, right? There is something web XML attribute is required. It is looking for something else. For building a var file, it needs a web.xml file in our code. See here, pre-existing webinf-web.xml is required to make a var, but our project is not an var type of project. right? So that is what the other point is. That is about your GAV. So the last point is default is jar. So you might have a question, right? Where in my code I have mentioned in my jar maven file. What happened to this cursor? Right, where in my code I have mentioned my source code is available in the Java folder, and my test files are available in, so source is available in SRC main Java, and the test files are available in SRC test Java, and resources are available in SRC test resources. Anyone got that question? Where you are telling to Maven that your files are available in so and so location. Treat this as a source location. Treat this as a test location. So where you have informed. You never informed it by default. You will have all common settings are available in one file that is called SuperPalm. So SuperPalm, our all Maven project palms extend the SuperPalm. So all the common things are already available in the SuperPalm. SuperPalm defines the set of default shared by all the project. It is part of your Maven installation. If you go to, depending on the Maven version, it can be found on maven-xyz-uber.jar or maven-model-builder-xyz jar file in the M2 home library. So let's go to M2 home. So what is M2 home? Wherever you have installed your Maven, that is your M2 home. Where is it? Studio, Maven, M2 home, library. And what is the library? Maven-xyz or Maven-model-builder-xyz.jar. XYZ is your version number. Let's try to extract this jar file, and inside that meta-nf Maven, Apache Maven model builder, there's something called palm.xml. Let me try to open this up and then copy this and then paste this, and then now see this. So what it talks about? So it talks about nothing, but why I mentioned that. Is it the correct file? No, yes. Arg Apache Maven model palm.xml. Let me see this. View, copy, control new, and then paste it. I think it has, yes, end of snippet super palm. I think this is the right one. So it talks about your palm, right? Repositories, close, plugin repositories, close. Now see this directory, output directory, your file name, your test output directory, your source directory, your test directory, your resources, your test resources, right? So everything. What about your plugins, your compile, your build management, your dependency, where all this information is stored? So these are the by default plugins. So in these plugins, you are getting your required this thing. So let's go and see the slides. Hope you are getting the things. I'm trying to cover as much as possible in the given period of time. In a jar file, you will find a file name called palm-4.0.xml under the some package. I think we haven't seen this, but we have identified this. So effective palm. Executing the effective palm goal should print out the XML document capturing the merge between your super palm and the palm from the project. So if you want to see, if you don't want to go and open the super palm and see, and if you want to generate at runtime what is your actual POM will generate with all this information. That is your effective POM. Your effective POM is equals to your current project POM plus your super POM. So you can use this goal to run to show you your POM. Hope you guys are following, but let me know whenever you are not following. All of you following? Yes, no?
Yes.
Mohan, haven't you used Maven before?
No.
Oh, hope it might be interesting for you then.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyone else
Su-
who used Maven before?
సూపర్ ఫామ్ అనేది ఎగ్జిస్టెంట్ ఫామ్ సార్ ఇది ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ లో.
ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ పామ్ కాదు. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పాను కదా, మీరు ఎక్కడ మీరు మెన్షన్ చేశారు, నా సోర్స్ కోడ్ వచ్చేసి ఎస్ఆర్సి మెయిన్ మ్యూల్లో ఉంటుంది, రిసోర్సెస్ వచ్చి ఎస్ఆర్సి మెయిన్ రిసోర్సెస్లో ఉంటాయి. సూపర్ పామ్ ఈజ్ ఎ పామ్ వేర్ ఆల్ కామన్ సెట్టింగ్స్ విల్ బి saved in the super palm. At runtime, your Maven will refer to the super palm by default. So all common settings will get from there. Okay. So when you run this command, maven help effective palm, it will print you the effective palm of your current project. How actually it will get generated. So it will generate your effective palm. So this is your palm at runtime. It will generate. Okay. So effective POM after inheritance, interpolation, and profiles are applied. So I copied, selected, and right click will enable me to copy the thing. So now here you go, your effective POM. So it talks about your all settings. So properties, dependencies, repositories, plugin repository, see build. When you are building, it is looking for the Java files in this. So why it was replaced? It was replaced with the help of what? Project.base directory. Your root, your current path of your project, where is POM file existing, that location is your project base directory. And then see this, everything is nicely replaced. It has created the files, and it has using the plugins called Antler, assembly, dependency, release, clean. See here, resources, compiler, surefire, install, deploy, site, whatnot. So everything it has created, and it talks about goals of each and every plugin as well. So plugin management, it talks about the plugins, each and every what are the different plugins, and it talks about the goals of the plugin. So whenever you call a clean, at what type of phase this goal needs to be executed. In my project clean phase, this goal needs to be executed clean. When you call clean plugin, it needs to execute in the project clean phase, it needs to execute. When resource plugin, at what type, at what place it needs to be executed. This is still, if you go in depth, it was more in depth. Try to evaluate on yourself and try to uh, go through the each and every element and try to understand this complete POM. Okay, so that is about your effective POM. And then let's go to the repository. So you are downloading the repository. Whenever you are running this, your Maven is downloading the jar files, right? So from where this is downloading, where we are telling that Maven, oh, hey, go to this location and get the things downloaded. From where we are telling that. So that is nothing but your Maven repositories. Dependencies are downloaded from the Maven repositories. Downloaded dependencies are cached in a local repository, that is your .m2 folder under your user, and usually that is found in %user.home and then .m2.repository. Repository follows a simple directory structure, that is nothing but, already we have seen this, group ID, artifact ID, version, and artifact-version.jar. And then Maven Central is a primary community repository, repo1.maven.org.maven2. So if we go here, see here, this is the repository section it is talking about. So whenever it needs something, it will go and try to get ask this URL, ask this central repository to get downloaded. That is how your all these guys get downloaded. So those who have some background on Maven, they feel like interesting. Those who are first time listening, might you get confused. I recommend you guys to go through the session again and do practice again. Dependency management. So the same thing we have discussed. When you want externally your project needs a dependency, you need to mention that in the dependency of your Maven project group artifact version. When your dependency, the actual project that you are using here should also be a Maven project, and it should have a group ID, artifact ID, and version. Okay, and then first of all, when you are building a C, your C needs A and B jar files to complete its, its compiling or running. At the time, when you ask Maven what Maven will do, it will go to your local repository first and it look for the A and B available or not. If not, it will again go to the remote repository that we have mentioned as part of your, repositories element. So whatever the repository elements will keep for to that location, it will go and get you the things. And then dependency management. So if you want any special thing, you can go and download this from your Maven repository. mvnrepository.com is the location. Go and search for a jar with the help of group ID, artifact ID, or the description and such. It will provide you that. And if you want that to be downloaded, added as a dependency in your Maven file, here in the bottom section, here you can see the dependencies XML element. So dependency management allows automatically inclusion of libraries, avoids the need to discover and specify your required libraries that you own. So it will automatically download the dependent libraries, but what you need to do is you need to tell on the first element only, I need only this jar. If this jar is dependent on something else jars, automatically Maven will take care of that and will get you the things. Quick time check, 9:25. So plugins. So complete Maven, the core Maven is a pretty dumb. Means Maven itself doesn't have anything. It doesn't know how to do much beyond parsing few XML documents and keep track of a life cycle and few plugins. So complete Maven is not that much, it doesn't have that much features, but your plugins will make it, super strong. So Maven has designed to delegate most of the responsibilities to set as in Maven plugins, which can affect Maven lifecycle and access and offer access to goals. So it means Maven is like, your mule server, right? Your complete mule server is a very, very lightweight. Whatever the modules you want in your application, you will add that to your project and you will deploy, right? In the same way, Maven is also not an heavy thing, but whereas it plugins make it as a heavier and stronger. So plugins will help you. So we have seen the plugins, right? For clean, package, build, and all. So those are the plugins and some theoretical points. You can go and read about it. So every plugin will comes with a set of goals which can be executed with the following syntax. When you want to execute a plugin, you have to execute mvn, plugin name, and a goal name. So that is the syntax to execute the plugin. So if you want to execute compile, right? Previously, what we are doing, I'm clearing this up. I want to complete this today. Actually, I planned one session, but it's flowing more than one. So MVN, what we are doing MVN compile. This was my first Maven session I was giving. So if you want to run Maven compiler, I think it will not execute. Compiler, and it should be compile as a goal. I hope so. Yes, now it was executing. So your plugin name is compiler, and it has a goal called compiler. I think we are. I need to change this. Okay. So now are you clear? How do you invoke a goal? A goal will be taken from the plugin. So sometimes you need to keep the plugin name, sometimes you don't need to keep. But if there is a conflict, if there is a goal is available in different plugins, same goal is available in different plugins, you will call with an plugin name. Something like if two members have the same name, we'll call them with an surname, right? The same way you will call like that. Plugin types, there are two types of plugin: build plugin and then reporting plugin, which generates the report. Build is something like execute during the build and should be configured in the build element in the pom.xml. So plugins, these are specified in the pom.xml using plugin element. Each plugin has a multiple goals. You can define the phase where plugin should start its processing using its phase element. You can configure tasks to be executed, binding them to goals plugin. It means, I'll explain that, don't worry. So when you want to run a plugin, when you want to use a plugin, first of all, in the project build element. So we talked, right? There are two types of plugins, build and reporting plugin. So we are talking about build plugin. So this build plugin is part of project, is the first element in pom.xml, and inside build you are using a plugin. So when you are using a plugin, so you have to provide the plugin GAV, group, artifact, and version, and you will provide. And when this plugin is to be executed, what phase of life cycle, whether it is in the compile phase, packaging, test phase, packaging phase, what phase of the life cycle it needs to be invoked this plugin. So what this plugin goal needs to be invoked, at what is the plugin details, what phase of life cycle of project, and what goal it needs to be invoked. So that is the information you will provide in the plugin of your pom.xml. So here we were using something called a plugin. What is plugin GAV? My plugin is a clean plugin, Maven clean plugin, and that is group ID, and artifact ID is clean plugin, and version is this. And when it needs to be executed, in the phase of clean, it needs to be executed. So okay, in the phase of clean, I will execute this plugin. So this plugin has many goals. What is the goal I need to execute? Okay, in the clean phase, execute this plugin's clean goal. So configuration, if your goal needs some inputs, then you will provide the elements in the configuration section. Okay, so if you want more about plugins, there are many plugins available for the Maven. I recommend you guys go and read this. We have how many slides? 7 more slides. I'll take 15-20 minutes extra and complete this. So these are the plugins available for the Maven: clean plugin, compiler, deploy, failsafe, install, resources. So at least try to see, at least try to understand at least what was basic concepts of this. There, at whenever you need time, there you can explore all these things. So we'll talk about one plugin, simple plugin called Antler plugin. So there is Antler or Antrun. Antrun plugin, sorry. This is the Antrun plugin. So This is a plugin. Open this plugin. Just read about it and usage about it and all. So here there is only one goal, that is antrun.run. What it will do, the plugin provides the capability of calling ant task from the PALM by running the nested ant task, including inside the target parameter, something it is trying to run with the ant. So I'm trying to explain one plugin. So till this point, it is still we are in the Maven. We never entered into the Mule. Once this plugin is done, there is a plugin for the Mule called Mule Maven plugin that we will discuss. That is the linking for your Mule. So plugin, you are configuring the plugin. My Antrun plugin, group ID, artifact ID, and version. When this plugin needs to be executed, it needs to be executed in the compile phase of my project. Okay, and what it should done? It should run the ant goal. So what it should run? It should print me some message in the console. So at what time it should print? At compile time it should print. Okay, let's go and do that. So go and get a copy of this. Not sure whether this will work or not. I prepared this a long back. Okay. Build tab, plugins, Control Z. What happened to this? And where is my pom.xml of this dependency? And then this is build tag, and this is plugin management, and plugins, build plugins. Okay, plugin management and plugins both are different. And then here I am pasting this, and next to what? And next to this element, I think I should stop at plugins. Execution. So just copy pasted. What I did in the build tag, I added a plugins element, and I configured a plugin called Maven Antrun plugin. And the group ID is this, artifact is this, version is this, and I'm asking to execute in the phase called compile. And in the compile phase, I'm asking to run the ant goal, and what should it will take as an input. In the input, it should print. I'm just asking to echo something. Calling ant task will get printed in my console. That is what my ask here is. So now clear the things, and then mvn clean. Mvn clean will completely cleaned it. What is the next? Mvn compile. Compiling. See here, after compile, your ant run plugin got executed, and then its goal, its ID of your configuration of your execution is id.clean, and then it is executing the tasks, right? What was that? It is printing echo. Echo means just it will print. Echo calling and task is something like this. And then if you say it should be executed in the package stage, now go here and then now compile again. Will it run the task now? Will it run this task plugin? No, because you are saying please run this at the package time. Let me make this as a job. Previously when I'm executing about talking about packaging type, I made it as a var. So now let me run this Maven package. Hope all of you following, at least you are trying to understand what's going on here. Those who are above lead level, At lead level, you need to understand this Maven. For developers, you don't need to have that much extension. So see here, test is done, and then this is building. This is nothing but default is jar packaging. After packaging, this goal has run. This is how you should use the plugins in your Maven. And last to go, we have discussed this, and then help plugin. What it will do, it help plugin describes a particular plugin or particular plugin goal. It will helps you to allow you to list of active Maven profiles, display an effective POM, print the effective settings, or list the attributes of Maven plugin. Who has helped us to generate the effective POM? Who helped us to generate the effective POM? How we generated the effective POM? 25th command, mvn help effective POM. How we generated that? We generated the effective POM with what? That is nothing but another plugin called help. Okay, help is a plugin that can be used to see the profiles, see the effective POM, print the effective settings, and list the attributes of the Maven plugin. The Maven help plugin has 4 goals: help active profiles, help effective form, help effective settings, and help of describing. Let's go and type effective POM. Let's close this. Help effective. Let type settings. Let me see. Even I didn't remember what was this. We'll also see what it will return me, the effective settings. Okay, what are effective settings? This generated an XML. Local repository is this location. Plugin group, this location. There is another plugin group, something else it's giving. The most important thing that why I introduced this is the last one, help and describe. So describes the attributes of a plugin. This needs to run under the existing project directory. You must at least give the group ID and artifact ID of the plugin you wish to describe. So help plugin example, the following command uses help plugin to describe the goal to print out information about the, is there a space? Let me correct that. Oh, it's a space. So now you want to know about the help plugin. You are asking the same plugin to provide help on top of it. This was a beauty. So help plugin provides information about any plugin. So I'm asking the same plugin, Maven help describe me about -d plugin is equals to help. I'm asking help plugin to describe about itself only. Okay, help plugin is executing this command and it will show you what this help plugin will do. This help plugin provides some description and its group ID, artifact ID, version, goal prefix. If you want to prefix something before your goal, what is the prefix you need to keep? Yes, correct. And then it has 8 goals. We have discussed 3 to 4 goals in the previous slide, right? Active profiles, effective POM, blah, blah, blah stuff, but it has more goals. These are all the goals of your help plugin. Okay, and let's talk about more. Hope you was confused. It's fine. So now here you comes to your concept called Mule Maven plugin. So far, are you following? Everyone?
Yes, Keshav.
Others? Shrikant, Giri, Girish.
Yeah, sure, I can understand.
Girish is a DevOps expert, so he no need to understand. Point look build. What else? Mule Maven plugin. So till now, till this slide, help plugin. This is completely a Maven concept. Directly, I can say the last part, this one, just I can say this is a plugin you use to deploy your code into the Maven, but I don't want to do that. So that is why I try to capture as much as possible in the Maven. Hope this has given you an detailed idea of Maven. And now let's talk about a plugin called Mule Maven plugin. In the Maven, Mule has provided it's a plugin called Mule Maven plugin. With the help of Mule Maven plugin, you can deploy your Mule applications through the Maven into your runtime, plane, whatever the plane it is. We will discuss about the Cloud Hub in the same way. You can explore the remaining options that you required for integrate the packaging and deployment of your Mule application within your Mule lifecycle. Using the Mule Maven plugin, you can automate your Mule application deployment to where? You can automate your Mule application deployment to where? To a Cloud Hub, to any runtime fabric, to on-premise, using any of the following deployment strategies. So Mule Maven plugin goals. Let's go and ask our help plugin to help us what this Mule Maven plugin will do. Okay, let's go and help describe, and this is your plugin name. How do I get that? Go and ask Google about Mule Maven plugin. Mule Maven plugin. These are the different versions, and these are deprecated versions. And it has many things. Your Mule Maven plugin has the goals. What are the goals? Package, deploy, undeploy. It talks about the packaging goal. It talks about the deployment goal. It talks about undeployment goal. If you want to use my plugin, use my plugins GAV, group ID, artifact ID, and version number. So your help command need this. So when you are running with the Mule, now it's time to switch to your Mule project location. Let's go to the DB.
It's 9:45 and
Yeah, అయిపోయిందండి. Else it will take one more session. Just 5 more minutes.
okay, and I have a meeting. I'm left. Okay, bye.
Okay. So we'll talk about this Mule Maven plugin. Let's go to pom.xml and see this. What was this? We are into Maven. No, I need this DB connector pom.xml. So here, see here, by default, there is a plugin called Mule Maven plugin will get added to your project by default whenever you create a project. Right? Are you seeing this? Mule Maven plugin. If you want to know about any plugin, you should provide you your group ID and then artifact ID of your plugin. org Mule Tools Maven, Mule Maven plugin will describe you about this plugin. So let us run this command here. No, this is wrongly copied. Let me try to copy this. What happened to my mouse? Okay, let me copy this. So I'm asking, when you are running this command about this, your pom.xml, see this is trying to download something, and then it is trying to run this describe, and then see here, talks about your Mule Maven plugin. Just go and read this description, name, description not provided, group ID, artifact ID, 330, 335 is the version, and prefix you should use to invoke any goal on this plugin. You should use mule colon, right? It will run this from the mule colon clean, compile, deploy, generate sources, blah, 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 blah stuff, package, blah, 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 blah stuff will get run on this plugin. So the prefix is mule, and then these are all the goals this plugin has, right? So that is what it talks about. Package generates the jar file for your project, deploy, automatically uploads and starts your application, any of the application deployment targets. That is your Cloud Hub, RTF or on-premise. Mule undeploy will remove your deployment. Each goal accepts the parameters that are unique to describe the plugin behavior. To provide a parameter from the command line, append -d to the parameter name or prefix. So reference, I have already shown you that link, Mule Maven plugin. And then how do you deploy into the Cloud Hub? This is the last point we have to cover. So this is the Mule Maven plugin. Anyone has valid Cloud Hub credentials? If you do have, please share with me. We'll deploy again the first application into the Cloud Hub through the Mule Maven plugin, and then we will wrap our session for today. Anyone has? Yes, no? No one has active credentials? Girish? Expire అయిపోయినాయి. Let me go and create then. So no one is practicing. Shravani? John Company. Kish 0121. Every time I should click on this. Okay, so now my platform got created, and now this is it. And now when you want to deploy, you should provide some information, some input to your Mule plugin. So what was that information? That information is your plugin configuration. In the plugin configuration, you should provide some information to it. This is my information I'm providing. I'm going here, and then the plugin already I deployed. So let me change. So this is the configuration. This is the plugin, right? And this is the build plugin we are talking about. Under the plugins, you have many plugins configured. Under that plugin, one plugin is your Mule Maven plugin. And then this is version, this is extension. So what is version with the dollar symbol? What it would be a property that they have defined over here. You can represent the properties. Okay, and then configuration classifier, you can provide what kind of application it is, Mule application, Cloud Hub, where you want to deploy. So this configuration is for the Cloud Hub deployment. If it is runtime, Fabric, if it is something on-premise service, the on-premise server, this configuration will get changed, but the remaining everything is same. So now change the username, password. So don't misuse my username password. Okay. So 0121 and then do save and then all other settings. What is your application name? Where you want to deploy? What is your region? How many workers? How many worker types? What are the system properties you want to give? So you can in the properties you can provide the key name as an XML element, key value as your system property value. This is system property, and then this is system property value. Now this thing was configured properly, and it is in the a hello world ch is the application. And now from here, where is the cd//a hyphen first example? No, what is my application name? A hyphen, what the hell? A hyphen hello world hyphen ch is my application name. Now I move to my application and I am seeing the directories here, and then see my POM file is here. Whenever you are issuing a maven command, the pom.file, pom.xml needs to be in the same location, or else you have to explicitly specify where is your pom.xml. And now let's go and see the big thing that we have discussed till now. You want to run the goals, clean, package, deploy, and you are saying it is a mule deployment. You should use this command for the deployment. Don't ask me why this is the usage of it. Okay, so I'm copying this and then this and then run this out. So what it will do, it will clean the project and it will do the other stuff, and then it will do the other stuff and compile, test, and finally it is trying to deploy your application where in your Cloud Hub. Choose your environment. So it's a fresh environment that is created before your eyes. And now I'm going to deploy my application into the Cloud Hub. So no application exists. If my configurations are correct, this should create an application called a-first-have-mvn, and then it should deploy my application. By this time, it should have completed its upload, and now see, this guy is deploying. So for this last section of 5-10 minutes, we have discussed yesterday 1 hour and today almost 1 hour session of Maven. So plugin, Mule Maven plugin deploy to the Cloud Hub. And this is the generic thing you can use, Cloud Hub configuration. Why this slide is duplicated? Okay, somehow it's duplicated. And then other concepts you have to learn, just concentrate on the settings.xml and concentrate on the repositories, plugin repositories, and learn all these things to make sure you are perfect in the Maven. So I try to give as much as possible I can in the short span of time. Let's wait for the application to deploy and then it to started, and then we'll run it once and then we'll wrap the session. So thanks for allowing me to complete in extra time. So this is Mule Maven plugin. In this plugin, you have a packaging Mule application. This is the option we have discussed about deploying to Cloud Hub. And if you want to deploy to any point runtime Fabric, and if you want to deploy to standalone Mule runtime, these configurations may change. So this is the configurations we have provided. right? And then for runtime fabric, if your project has runtime fabric, you have runtime fabric related settings you can provide. And if you want to deploy into standalone Mule runtime, provide your Mule runtime and Mule runtime version. It will complete it. Okay, this is how you should use Mule Maven plugin to deploy your application into your required things. So now my application is deployed. Let me go and test this. I'm not sure what was the details it held. So go to settings, and we have provided a runtime property. See here, my key, my value. If you have more values, configure them as an XML elements there, and then it will get displayed. So say this, and then say hi. Will it work? Yes, it worked. See here, hi, welcome to Mule again, right? So I said welcome in the day one, and now welcome in the day at the last days. So deployed, created the application, starting the application, check the application is started or not, and then finally it got deployed and your deployment got success, and then your deployment is done, and then we have tested. So that is what overall about a crisp Maven session we covered. Not in crisp, I covered, I think scratch to end, I covered maximum we covered, and then we successfully deployed your application into the into this. So now I want to show you something here. In the workspace, there is something like SFDC Core Patient System API. So how we deploy the application? We'll deploy the application with the help of a batch file, and then see here we deploying like this, and then we are supplying runtime parameters what is needed. We are not where is this? Yes, we are not providing the direct values here. What is app runtime, cloud hub name, environment name, workers, and mostly the important one about the username and the password. Where is that username and password? There is something called server. Yes. Okay, you can configure the username and password in settings.xml, and you can refer that ID here. So you cannot provide these values. So here, if you want, you can hard code, remove the hard codings, and then here you have hard coded the values, right? You can pass with the help of, let's say, dollar uname, and then dollar password, and then when you are deploying your Maven, you can use the same command, and you can supply the values. Uname is equals to cache0121, and then -d. You know what is -d? Supplying the runtime parameters. System parameters we can call pwd is equals to what? And application name I am trying to deploy, or else let's try to redeploy with the same name. What will happen? Let's see this. And then I'm trying to redeploy again with the same username and password, but username password I have not provided. I have provided to the system variables. So let's go and see what it's going to do. It's trying to deploy, and focus on the response that is giving. I need to have breakfast again. See here, your application is already exist. I'm redeploying. That is what your Maven is saying. Okay, it's identifying your application is exist, and it is going to redeploy. Now see this, it's happening the redeployment. 9:55 your deployment is happened at 10:01, and again you are deploying it. So see here, what's not we are covering. We are covering everything starting with your your project RAML. So RAML, I will cover the last topic at the end. So if you go here and then go here, where is my RAML? It's not there. It's added as a library. So starting with your project, main files, mule, you have global.xml, you have your API created, you have your implementation created, and then we covered configuration files, secure configuration files, we covered data view modules, we covered examples, right? So whatnot, we try to cover, we cover munits as well, right? So, and even including pom.xml, whatever the settings you will do in the pom.xml, we covered that. And then this is the command line they are passing. So just they created a script, and then they created the environment variables, and then they are doing MVN clean package deploy. And then if you want to skip munit tests while deploying, you can use this, and then -md mule deploy, and then they are passing the runtime parameters to your application like this. So this mule version is deployed, created as a property here, and this value is applied at the time of executing this, and this mule version will get replaced inside your where mule version, where it is, something like this. Your mule version is applied as an app runtime. So your mule version is applying as an app runtime here from one of the property, and then it will get replaced. So whatever we have covered in our session, it was at most similar to your real-time application. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for your extra time. We'll meet tomorrow. We'll see Git. We'll see Git in detail, and then Jenkins, and then we have 2 sessions pending. I will cover that, and then we'll take. We'll close the batch. So, any questions here? Are you guys getting good overall picture how the things are going on?
Yes, Kishore. Yeah, good.
Others? Girish, Shravani, Shrikant. Okay, I think I was 5 minutes late to my previous session. That's all for today. We'll see tomorrow at 8:30.